That is no way to get ahead in life. Let me apologize in advance for this being a bit of a rushed video. I'm going to make it a quickie for a couple of reasons. First of all, and most importantly, it's hot as hell in here and I want to get the lights off and the fans back on. So I'm going to be as fast as I possibly can. Also, I need to apologize a little bit because I'm doing 2 of these Nightworms videos in a row. The reason is just that last month's was a little bit delayed at the post office or in shipment or something, and it came a little bit late. So this one, the June 2022 Nightworms package, came only a week after the other one, and since I don't really like to delay these, I want to make these videos pretty much as soon as these packages arrive. Turns out you're getting 2 in a row. But do make sure you subscribe and ring the notification bell and stick around because there is other stuff coming next time. So for those of you who don't know, Nightworms is a subscription service, much like Horror Pack, except while Horror Pack gives us horror movies every month, Nightworms gives us horror books every month. And of course, this is the latest offering for June 2022. It just arrived. As you can see, it's still sealed in its lovely little black packaging. I have no idea what's inside. I'm going to open it up and find out. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Let's open this up carefully so that I don't damage anything on the inside. And while I'm surgically removing this packaging, I'll also mention if you hear any noise or anything in the background, there's a community swimming pool just outside my window over there and a thunderstorm rolling in, which is wonderful, but it might make some background noise, so if it does, my apologies. But now that I have this open, I can see that this time there are actually 3 books in the package. Usually there are 2, in this case there are 3, along with the usual little goodie bag of assorted stuff that they throw in. So I'm going to dig right in, and like I said, I'm going to try to go quickly through these, but I'll show you what's inside. The first one is this. This is Twilight at the Gates by Mark Allen Gunnels. There's not much of a description on the back, there's just a quote from the author. I'm not going to read that to you because it's not really a description. The reason there's not much of a description is this is a collection of short stories. It has a lot of short stories. Let me count them up quickly. 1, 2, 3. This looks like it has 31 short stories in it, and because, as you can see, it's a short book, it's only 171 pages. These are short stories, but that doesn't mean anything bad. Horror comes in all shapes and sizes, and frequently a really quick short story gives you just that quick scare without having to waste time building a lot of other stuff up, so that could be an excellent way to approach the horror genre. It's not an author that I've read, although I am familiar with the name, so I'm looking forward to sampling these short stories. Next, we have a book called Beautiful Atrocities. This is by Ross Jeffrey. This is a Bram Stoker Award nominated author. This is another one that I'm not familiar with. The cover says this is a debut collection from the author of the Juniper trilogy, a trilogy that I've not read, and obviously I've not read the short works before because this is a debut collection, but it's another collection of short stories. In this case, I don't see a table of contents, so I'm not sure how many there are. Let me read the description on the back, maybe it will tell us. The description says, Beautiful Atrocities collects 18 stories. Collects 18 stories of literary dark fiction from the Bram Stoker Award-nominated author Ross Jeffrey, who terrified us with the sensational Juniper series. These chilling stories run the gamut of modern horror and will leave the reader entertained, breathless, and horrified in equal measure, but still wanting to turn the page. This is a masterful debut collection from one of horror's bright, shining lights. I don't really have a whole lot to say because, like I said with the previous book, I do like short-form horror, so I'm looking forward to sampling these stories as well. And the third and final book, also a paperback, is called Stargazers by L.P. Hernandez. This is My Dark Library #1. Now, My Dark Library is a new thing that the Nightworms people are doing. they're putting out this collection of novellas that they've curated, and this is the first of those. They've been teasing it a little bit on their social media. So let me go ahead and read the description on this first volume. According to the back, it began with a forum post titled, "My neighbor has been staring at the moon for hours." Dismissed as a poor attempt at fiction, other accounts soon joined, describing family members and neighbors gazing open-mouthed at the stars throughout the night. As the sun rises, the stargazers are changed. Some gather in groups, some destroy, and some kill. The unfolding chaos is familiar for war veteran, now father, Henry Silva. As the city crumbles from its center, he relies on old instincts to save his family. But the enemy is all around, stargazers and human monsters alike. As Henry battles for survival, a dwindling online community documents civilization's end. A new beginning, perhaps, for what is to come. This is my kind of story, that sort of apocalyptic or semi-apocalyptic thing that makes people behave strangely. I don't know exactly what's happening in the story, obviously, because I haven't read it yet, but there may be some kind of apocalyptic horror, maybe some kind of cosmic horror, combined with something that seems not quite like zombies, but let's say zombie adjacent, and I'm a fan of that as well. So very much looking forward to trying this first Dark Library entry called Stargazers. So that's the 3 books. We also have goodies. Here's our little goodie bag, and let me just make sure there's nothing else in the package. So they always include this little packet of assorted stuff. There's papers and bookmarks, and sometimes there's coffee or tea. I have no idea what's in this one yet, but let's find out. Okay, the first thing to come out is a new bookmark. There's always a bookmark. This one says Cemetery Gates, which is their theme for this month, June 2022. So I'm slowly starting to build up a collection of these Nightworms bookmarks, so that's always nice. I always seem to lose bookmarks. I have a million of them, but I end up marking my pages with playing cards or receipts or something anyway, so it's nice to have more bookmarks coming in. And this is a discount code for something called crookedcrows.com. Looks like they do books and teas and tarot cards and herbs and, you know, witchy, Wiccan, occult, horror, creepy lifestyle kinds of things from the look of it. It's not a company I'm familiar with, but it's nice to get this little coupon code on here, which I'm covering up. And on the back side, it just tells us a little bit about what's in this A Date with Cemetery Gates package. And I'm not reading all of that right now because I'm just going to find out in the package itself. The next thing looks like... oh, it is one of those Crooked Crows teas. This is called Love Thyself Herbal Tea Blend. This is a handcrafted, there's a batch number on it. A list of ingredients and things on the back. I'm generally more of a coffee guy than a tea guy, but I like tea from time to time, so I'll give this a try. Nice to get these little samples always. We also have another bookmark, this one advertising the My Dark Library series. And this, I couldn't identify at first. I thought it was maybe a sticker, but this appears to be a book plate signed by L.P. Hernandez, the author of Stargazers. So that will go with that book. Next we have another of those book plates. This one is signed by Mark Allen Gunnels, the author of the first of those books, Twilight at the Gates, so that'll go with that one. And then here's a little sticker. It says, "My TBR finally killed me." It's a tombstone with a skull. TBR stands for To Be Read, and you know, I hear book people talking about their to be read pile, but I have a to be read library. That's not to say I haven't read all of these. I've read many of them, but not all of them yet, so I live in a library. I haven't read everything yet. The books are taking over. And in fact, they did try to kill me once. The bookcase over here actually fell over in the middle of the night, and my bed is out in front here, and it's quite an experience to be awoken from a deep sleep by the unmistakable sensation of a large bookcase falling directly on top of you. Fortunately, the books were unharmed. Only one of them got a little ding in the corner. I don't know how that happened. I ended up being okay, and now that thing is bolted to the wall with probably more anchors than it should be. Anyway, there's still more stuff in here. The last thing, yes, the last thing is this little bookplate. And I couldn't quite read the signature, but I was assuming that it was Ross Jeffrey, the author of this other book, this one, and I confirmed by checking the little packing slip. So, in fact, all of these books, all three of them came with these signed book plates, which is wonderful. As y'all know, I collect autographed books. Many of these books are autographed. Not quite all of them yet, but I'm getting there. So, as a collector of autographed books, including the signed book plates is a wonderful addition, and this makes another wonderful package from the Nightworms company. Well, that about does it. If you're interested in any of those books, I always leave links down in the What's It so you can find copies for yourself if you're interested. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, leave me a comment, do all that stuff to help me grow this channel. And until next time, take care and stay scared.